live? I think we're live.
Yes.
We're live.
Alright. Hai teman-teman, saya Ira dan sekarang saya ngobrol bersama Dr. Khushboo Shah dan Aditi Iyer, dua TTTECF dari India. TTTE itu adalah Talk to the Entities. Jadi sekarang saya mau ngobrol-ngobrol apa sih itu Talk to the Entities dan bagaimana Talk to the Entities bisa berkontribusi pada kehidupan kita semua. Ya, oke. So, hi Aditi, hi Khushboo.
Hi.
Hello, Ira.
Yeah.
Glad to be here.
To see you here. Okay, so let's talk. What is Talk to the Entities?
Oh, that's a big question. To begin with, I would say it's about communicating with energies. For me, that's what it is. It's like the first step is talking to energies, is talking to its entities, like those energies that are defined, that they've had lives and they've had a body or something like that. But it leads into so much more. And like the beginning class was like the first step into that energetic communication with everything. So for me, it's like talk to the entities is big, but the initial step may seem small, but there's always more to explore.
It's a whole new world.
Yeah, it is. What about you, Khush?
I think you covered it. It's like, yes, Talk to the Entities begins with talking to ghosts and spirits, etc., etc. But it's the first step to opening up, to developing your perceiving, knowing, being, and receiving of all energies in your space. Because what it does is it pushes you beyond your five senses to even acknowledge their presence. And then once you start getting ease in that world, you start getting ease. Suddenly there's like ease with everything energetic, everything that you can't necessarily see, but you know you've been aware of. So it's like a building your muscle to really perceiving, knowing, being, and receiving. Like you can't talk to entities unless you start really trusting your perceiving, knowing, being, and receiving. Like you have to trust yourself. You have to trust what you're aware of when you talk to the entities. And the tools of Talk to the Entities help you develop that trust, like that first step.
Yeah, it's like the joy of creation. It's like the more you begin to like perceive energies, you can perceive what's light, what's fun, what's joyful, like that space that makes you smile, like it lights up your body. And then it's like from that space, it's like, you know how like even with people with bodies, like some people are just fun and some people aren't. It's the same thing with entities. Like you just take away the body, like the generally doesn't. So it's like the more that you actually practice the tools that talk to the entities and play with the tools in the beginning class, it's like the more you begin to notice, okay, hey, this energy is fun, that's fun, and you can choose more towards the joy and the fun and the ease of entities. It's not that the other ones don't exist, but it's like whatever you put your attention and energy on is what expands. That's what science tells us. That's the same thing with all energies. So it's like if you put your energy and attention on entities or energies that are more fun and joyful for you, more of that will show up. Wow. So like Talk to the Entities for me is like that first step into acknowledging, oh, all of these energies exist. There are those that are crabby and irritating. There are those that are really frustrating. There are those that are really imposing. And then there are these that are just like, hi. And those are the ones like I find myself more choosing more of those energies. And those are the beings that surround me, that are around me. So it's literally just the first step, like these tools, these energies, it's that first step into actually starting to acknowledge all energies. And then you can see what works for you.
Wow. This is so awesome. I mean, I love the description that the two of you just said, because to me, this is exactly what happened after I take this talk to the entities class. It totally
Yeah.
opened a whole new world that I was totally ignorant and not aware before. And my life has changed so much. And now it becomes one of my favorite classes. Before I was so afraid and I was actually avoiding this class.
Yeah.
Because like a lot of people, when they think of TTTE, the first thing that come to their mind is ghosts. And what
Yeah.
do this reality tell us about ghosts? They are scary, they are bad, they are to be avoided, and all these things, right? So
Yeah.
a lot of people are not willing to take this class. And then the other thing that used to stop me is I cannot see ghosts, so I'm not aware. Why should I even bother to take the class, right? But now what you're saying, like you don't need to see them, as you always able to perceive, know, be, and receive them. So this class is actually for everyone who wants to just to be more aware.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like I don't see them. I can sort of sense them, I can hear them, like those little things, but I don't see them. So it isn't about how you perceive the entities, it's that you perceive entities and energies.
And like both, like we and Indian, like Indians and Indonesians, we come from cultures that have made entities very significant,
Yeah.
which means they are around us and they are affecting our spaces, whether we want to acknowledge it right now or not. Now, if you know, and if you know that your space can be lighter and something else is available, and you can invite other energies as well and make your space lighter, top of the entities will give you the starting tools to go there. And then it'll open up more, and then it'll open up more, and then it'll open up more. Like, believe me, like living in India, we're surrounded by entities all the time. And like I said, I never saw them, but but we all know it, there's sudden mood changes that happen, and then you suddenly wake up one morning and you're just like sneezing and you don't know what is going on, and then etc etc etc. It's like, what is happening? And you're like, who does this belong to? And it's like, and then you suddenly start getting this, because they are there in our cultures, and they're there literally everywhere where we walk. So what if you now started having ease, first step acknowledging that they're there, and therefore that will begin that process of ease of your space. Like your space doesn't need to be anymore, and then it starts opening up, opening up, opening up, opening up, opening up. And you opening up that space, what will that change for our cultures? What will that change for the entities? What will that change for the earth? What will that change when you start also now being with the nature spirits and everything that else is available? Like you saying yes to this world, you saying, okay, cool, you know what? I know our cultures have made it significant, but I also know there's a different way to be with it. And this is where
Yeah.
we
And for me, it's like in the beginning, it was like every day I was clearing entities. I was like, oh my God, how much longer can I do this? And then after a while, it became easier because you actually become the tools, the clearing tools. But it's like that in that initial bit that I did when I first learned how to clear entities, I did it every bloody day. Every day. I would clear entities, I would clear demons. I was like, nope, this is changing. But it's also that thing of like how many of them want to leave, and it's like, why not set them free? You know, like if they want to go, let them go. It's like, wouldn't you like those choices?
Yeah, I think this is cool. I mean, like, I love it because in the beginning, when I took the class for the first time, I was really lazy. I don't want to do the exercise. I don't want to do the clearing. I don't want to set up the business hour. And then I learned, if I want to have a space and have my reality and nobody's bugging me, I better do the business hour and do the clearings. And now I start setting business hour and do all the clearings because it helped me and make my
Yeah.
life easier and more joyful. And I'm not like
Yeah.
so many things hanging around you,
And it's like it makes your life so much easier because like when you start acknowledging these entities, a lot of them actually are willing to like assist you and help you and support you. Like the number of times the entities have like supported me in like if something's not working, I'm like, oh please what else is possible? And suddenly there'll be something new and I'm like, oh, okay. And then I'll just acknowledge the entity that like assisted in that, and then it makes my life easier, you know? And so it's like, the more you acknowledge it and the more you like, there's so many of them that are willing to assist and then like just move on after that. So it's like, for me, that's been amazing, because like in the first rush, I did my first class in 2013. And that first rush of entities was all the entities that had been waiting to just for somebody to just like say, you can go. And so like the moment we gave them like, yeah, you can go. And like all of them just went whoosh. That was it. And then all of these entities like, oh, can I get you money? Can I get you this? Can I get you that? Can I get you upgrades? Can I get you, oh, let me find you a parking spot? Like things like that. And it was so random, quote unquote, random, but it was so possible. So it's like, it's opening up to the possibility of something that you cannot define or you cannot necessarily see, but you can enjoy and receive.
It is actually like the joy of receiving. Like even if it was a little intense and overwhelming in the beginning, it was actually me opening up to the joy of receiving and real, true receiving, not just receiving, oh, I'm just going to receive from like the good ones and not the, like, but really opening up and stretching my muscles with true receiving and everything that comes with it. And how much I had to receive myself to trust what I know about what a lot of people just seem to be ignoring and not even acknowledging we exist. So there's such a gift of receiving that talk to the entities opens you up to.
Yes, I agree, because like in Access, people said, how can I receive more? How can I receive more? So this is like actually one of the class who really facilitate me most in terms of receiving, because you are receiving something like actually you cannot see, and it's, you know, it's like a bit abstract.
Yeah.
But that really train your muscle by you know, really practicing receiving from the entities. And as you both said, I get a lot of like energetic contribution, gifts, ideas, like they kind of open path for me. I mean, there's a lot that you can gain from talking to the entities. And the other thing that I love, actually why actually first I want to talk to the entity, take the class, is because I want to talk to nature spirit. Like I love talking to nature spirits and spirits of the land, because I kind of like more in tune to them and not so much on the ghost part. But now like everyone can contribute.
And the thing is like, how much is like nature wanting to contribute to you? Like, especially if you consider the energies of the earth, like in Indonesia, in this belt that we all live in, it's like how much of that potent cosmic, I know I'm saying it's like, it sounds weird, but saying cosmic energy, it's like how much of it is there to actually gift to us in our bodies, and do we receive it? And what if we could actually be the ones that, like, we could be the pioneers to open up to that energy, to make that more available? Like, what would that create for the earth? What would that create for our bodies? Like, you know, how much easier can it all get after that, with that choice?
Like I remember going to Bali last year for the 7-day Shannon and Susie's class.
Yeah.
The body class and SE and everything together. And oh my God. Like, oh my God. Like that venue, that place was such a gift to my body. And one of those elements, and like a very big part of why that class was there and why the class was so different, was the presence of these beautiful earth spirits that were gifting, what were working with us, even when we were working on the bodies. And it was such a different space. There was such a gifting space that's available. And since we know how to be joyful and not make it unnecessarily significant, I feel like we were even receiving even more than the people there. Because then you're literally just playing with it. You're being joyful with it. You're allowing them to gift your body and everything. And that class was was amazing. It was life changing. And I want to say because of the presence of these spirits and these beings that are there in the earth there. So and around there.
Yeah,
And
I love.
imagine waking up to that every day. Imagine like just imagine waking up to that every day and just acknowledging that and then moving through your days with that space. And it's there, it's available for us. It's not very far away. I don't have to tap into the other side of the world. It's literally there for us. It's just that because we've said no to not receiving from ghosts and scary ones and the annoying ones, we've also stopped our receiving from these energies which are right there. So it's like, do you want to open up to a whole world? That is what the Talk to the Entities tools gives you.
And it's like how much of it was also controlled in terms of like they would make it like evil or bad or too powerful. You cannot have that kind of power, but that's not true. It's available to everybody. It's like, what if we were willing to like go beyond those myths and those superstitions into the amazing possibilities.
Yeah, that is so
Yeah.
beautiful. I mean, I like my first couple classes of access was actually in Bali also, and I literally noticed how alive the land there and how alive the spirits there because the people acknowledge them and they actually pray and they actually communicate, receive and perceive them. Right? It's kind of different than when I'm in Jakarta where nobody cares about them. So the land is so alive and I perceive that there is like something possible there if everybody acknowledge the presence of the entities or the spirit world and we actually can like co-create together, right?
Yes, yes. And like, what if we can actually invite the peace that's available with that invitation?
Yes.
The peace for your body, for your being, for people, for like everything,
For the earth.
for the earth.
Yeah. I love when Shannon said that like spirit of like the spirit world is part of the nutrition that is required by our body and by the earth.
Yeah.
And if we actually really include them in our life, that would create a totally different reality and different world. There is so much ease, peace, joy that we've been asking for, right? And so much more space. And I don't know. I just love to invite everyone to this, this
Yeah.
brave new world, whatever you call it.
And it is a brave new world. It's like, are you willing to be so different? You don't have to tell everybody you're different. You can just be it.
Awesome. This is great.
So just to give you a bit of information, the classes are going to be on 9th, 10th, 11th. So the intro is going to be on the 9th. And then the beginning class, we'll be doing it over 2.5 hours a day for 4 days. So that will be 10th, 11th, 12th, and 13th. So that it's easier, it's more fun. And sometimes it's not really fun when you're not all in a class, that you can sit for 8 hours and like do a class, like we can keep talking and talking. But so we chose to break it up so that we could have a little bit of time and then space for your bodies to receive.
And it's a good time for Indonesia as well. It's about the same time right now. We begin at 5 p.m. India time. So I think that means it's 7:30, around 7:30 Jakarta time.
Wow, that's awesome. So
For
I
two
would,
and a half hours.
yeah,
You
I
can
mean,
bring your dinner. You can bring your dinner and eat while we facilitate.
and share it with the entities, right?
You can be like, "Ha! I can eat. You can't." You can have ice cream for dinner. Nobody's there to stop you.
So, okay, I mean, I'm looking forward to it. If anyone have any question, please contact any of us. We'll be happy to help you, to contribute to you, or whatever you require, we are here.
Yes. What else is truly possible?
Yeah.
And I'll put in the registration links in the comments. And are you willing to join us on this journey? Are you brave enough?
Yes.
It's like it's going to be and have space, and it's going to be an adventure. It is going to be an adventure for all of us.
How does it get better?
Awesome.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ira, so much. Thank you. Bye. Bye.
Bye.